Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the next time to recap quarterly update on VMware from TD Synnex. It's not the first time we're doing it. It's like now the third or the fourth time that we're giving this kind of quarterly updates, where we dive a little bit deeper in what's happening in the Broadcom or the VMware by Broadcom world, and to see and to answer your questions should you have them. I'm not the only one that's present here from TD Synnex or from Broadcom. I'm joined by Bogdan Sava, account director at Broadcom, who will take the lead in a number of slides during the presentations. And I also brought some colleagues like Ruben and Thierry, who will make sure that everything runs smoothly. Ruben will also take an eye on or keep an eye on the questions that are coming in, so that we can answer them at the end of the webinar. As always, we'll have a number of house rules. Everyone will stay muted except for the presenters during the presentations. And please use the Q&A box to post your questions. If those are questions that we can answer directly at the end of the webinar, we will do so. Otherwise, you will receive a written follow-up Q&A report after the webinar. So rest assured that your questions will be answered. Then, of course, also a bit of a disclaimer. Some of the info that you're about to see is rather fresh. It did not hit the public domain yet. It's also a partner-only event today. So there shouldn't be any end customers present during this webinar. So please make sure that if there's sensitive information that you see during the webinar, that you keep it for yourself for now, and don't share it with the rest of the world. And as always, yeah, it's Broadcom. So it's, as someone from Broadcom recently told me, Broadcom is a dynamic company. So they tend to change some information and some guidelines along the way. So it's not because it's announced today that it's still the right thing tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So also keep that in mind, please. What are we going to cover during this webinar? Well, of course, a short introduction. Bogdan will do a recap on the Advantage Partner Program. There are some new things that we wanted to touch upon. We will also cover the deal registration process, what is needed, what are things to make sure that you take into account. We will dive a little bit deeper into the quoting process, because, yeah, as you all know, it's still sometimes a bit of a struggle or a bit of a challenge to get your quotes as a reseller. So we, as TD Synnex, as a distributor, wanted to give you a bit of an insight how the quoting works and what you can do to help to make that quoting process more smoothly. As you might know, there are also some new dashboards that have been announced or that are currently in beta or in limited availability, but that soon will be going live from Broadcom, and we also wanted to touch upon that. And of course, as already said, we will have a Q&A afterwards. I see that there are still people joining, so welcome for the people that are still joining for the moment. The webinar is also recorded, so you will get a link that you can view the recording afterwards, and you will get a PDF version of the slide deck as well, so you can look back at it at a later point in time. Yeah, well, as I said, Broadcom, some people within Broadcom call it a dynamic company. I regularly refer to it as a company that doesn't use stone to set things in. So it's, as we all know, it's been a very interesting ride the last couple of 16, 17, 18 months since the acquisition of VMware by Broadcom. And it doesn't stop. I think that we all saw the news or followed the social media on the things that are happening, especially outside EMEA. Here in EMEA, I think one of the last things is that if you're a CSP partner, your route to market needed to be defined. So you needed to choose between being a CSP partner, and that doesn't count for registered CSP partners, by the way, but only Premier or Pinnacle CSP partners. and your resale channel. We also had quite a bit of commotion around the 72 core rule that luckily enough was cancelled a few days before it went live. And I think one of the most recent things that was announced on social media that everyone could follow was, of course, the fact that in all the regions except for EMEA, there were some changes in the different partner tiers, and the registered partner tier was put in end of life. Just to make absolutely clear, that's not the case here in EMEA for the moment. I think if you look at the partner ecosystem in general, as we all know, when Broadcom took charge of VMware, everyone got a resignation letter. Everyone received a letter that they are no longer partner of VMware and that they could enroll into the new partner program. Most of the partners did actually do that. I think there were approximately 19,000 invites sent out to the previous VMware partners, and of those 19,000, around 14,500 partners actually enrolled. I'm talking about, of course, about worldwide figures, not figures here in EMEA or let alone here in the Benelux region. There were also a number of new requests. I think around 400 new requests for joining the partner program were issued, but that has been put on hold. So for the moment, it's no longer possible to nominate yourself to become a VMware by Broadcom partner. Also, the number of strategic engagement requests, the not for resale requests. We've also launched some programs around certifications, but I think we're going to touch very briefly on that later on in the slide. I think we also clearly noticed that there has been a shift in focus if you compare fiscal year 24 till fiscal year 25. And definitely now since the last couple of days, but more on that later in the slide deck, where, for example, in fiscal year 24, there was a little bit more flexibility around pricing and stuff like that. This is no longer the case. The price lists are available through the partner portal. You can see the prices there in the manufacturer suggested retail prices. And it is what it is. That's actually what has been the case for now almost a year. There's almost no discount, especially on the standard and enterprise plus bundles that you can get today. It's a new world where we're living in, and unfortunately, or well, as I said, it's just a new world. So we just need to adapt to that. There's also a very different focus from Broadcom with regards to the customer approach. In 2024, the focus was mainly on migration and migrating from the perpetual licensing model to the new subscription-based model. Now the focus in 25 is clearly on renewals of those subscription models and, of course, expansion, being either increase in core count or growing in the functionality, for example, moving from an Enterprise Plus to a VVF or a VCF. I think Bogdan will touch upon the Advantage Partner Program, so we'll skip this slide for now, and I will immediately hand over the control to Bogdan to talk about the Advantage Partner Program at VMware by Broadcom.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you, and thank you for joining our webinar. I wanted to present some of the changes of the new partner program, of the Advantage Partner Program. As you know, this program was launched in February, and since then we've been continuously making improvements to the program based on our channel feedback, and we've been trying to adapt to your needs. Our goal is to make the program as transparent and predictable as possible, and rewarding our most committing partners to the program. I think of this slide, what I want you to remember, and I think what is the most important steps of this slide is that in August, we are going to have our first progression window to help our partners progress or move up to higher tiers, and also some possible downgrades, of course. But for the downgrades, we're also going to give you around 3 months, so from August till November, to comply to the requirements, and then the decision will be made final. So please make sure with me and Marnix that following months you will be able to have the points, performance points, capability points, and everything that is needed to keep your level or to possibly move to the next level. Next slide, please. Some of the key enhancements to the program, and I guess you already know, are the points leveling system to give you guys the more flexibility and clarity on how to progress to the tiers. Some joint business plans with our top partners, especially Premier and Pinnacles, to align with our long-term goals and invest together in success. We've introduced a deferred margin benefits and some activity-based claims to create a fairness and more rewarding engagement with Broadcom. So we also added the point system and the possibility to earn capability points, not just from certification, but also from delivering consulting services, which I think this is a very important step. The certifications have now a 2-year lifespan, which brings more predictability to the planning of the to the certifications. And we've introduced a number of dashboards to help to provide visibility into your performance, progress within the program. Some of the dashboards are the renewals dashboard, certifications, the leveling dashboard, which has been live since 1 day ago, if I'm not mistaken, deal registration platform, and the business planning platform. Next slide, please. So what I wanted to say also is all of these changes are designed to help our partners grow and reflect your commitment to the current ecosystem. As you can see here, an overview from space, we don't have that many Pinnacle and Premier partners, but we do have very large ecosystem of registered and select partners. And on this topic, you will see that we'll be trying to improve some of our capability points or performance points to help our lower tier partners to grow easier to the higher tiers. And if you can move to this next slide, please. This is our current partner program. The points necessary for each partner tier, Pinnacle, Premier, and Select. And I can give you some insights on how the point system will look like, probably starting August. What we are going to do, we are going to increase the number of Pinnacle points, so the number of points to reach Pinnacle, but we are going to reduce the amount of points needed to become Select. The Premier status will mostly stay the same, but this is a really important change to our ecosystem that will allow our registered partners to become Select. And I think the point system necessary or needed to reach there will almost be halved. I guess everyone has heard about what's happening in the America and the APJ system, that we have removed the register partner tier. I have no indication if this is going to happen or when it is going to happen in the EMEA region. But what I do know is that we will give you the possibility in the next, 6 months or 4 months, to move to the Select tier and to reach those points. And again, we're going to we're gonna make the point system halved, probably. So you need half the points to reach the select tier. If you could move to the next slide, please. So these are the necessary. Not necessary. This is how we calculate the point system as of now. So the performance points are given from the amount of revenue you bring to Broadcom, and the capability points are given from the amount of certifications that you have within your company. This is mostly what we call a 70-30 rule. So basically, each tier has a 70% performance points and the 30% capability points to reach that level. And one important change that another important change that's already live in our ecosystem is that we are gonna change the way we calculate the capability points. And I think this will help a lot, again, our partner ecosystem to reach the number of points necessary to have the correct tiering within our company. And another important step, but I guess this is widely known, the Benelux region, especially actually the Luxembourg region is in zone 4, but the Belgium region is in zone 3, which means you have a per 2 multiplier. Or actually, we could say that every performance and capability point is actually halved of what you actually need to get into the program. So for the select part, it will be halved again, and it will be very easy, in my opinion, to reach our select partner tier. If you could move to the next slide, please, Marnix. This is how the new capability points will look like. So we reduced a little bit the number of points that you could get per each certification, or for some of the certifications, like the support certifications and so on, and the night system. But what we have done to make it easier is previously we needed a number of certified individuals. So we were counting individuals on the sales and technical side for the certifications. What is changed starting as of yesterday, I think, we'll be counting only the certifications. So we've introduced something that every person could have multiple certifications, both sales and technical. So each person will have a higher number of points that could help the company rise to the correct level. And I think this also will help a lot our partners who are on lower tiers at the moment to move to the next tiers, because one person can hold many certifications. Next slide, please. Again, as I was mentioning, the accelerators and country zones, really important for us, especially in our region, the Benelux region. We have these multipliers that are really helping us a lot. So then again, it's a per 2 multiplier on bookings for the whole Benelux region, and on the enablement accelerator, it's a per 2 in Belgium and per 3 in Luxembourg. We can move already to the next slide. This is an overview of the current performance and capability points needed in terms of money for each level. So performance points 70, which relates to $175,000 of revenue that you bring to Broadcom. And this is probably, and not probably, most likely, will be halved. You would need half to reach this value, but also the pinnacle ones, the pinnacle status tier, will probably need almost double the amount to reach their value. The premier status will most likely stay the same, on the same level. So the select partners will have will be able to have a clear path of how they can move to the pinnacle, to the premier tier, and this will be stable. And the registered partners will have a clear path and a much easier way to reach the select status. And I really urge you in the next couple of months to do your best to work with us, to work with me and Marnix, to have as many certifications as possible to make sure that you will be able to reach the select tier. Some of the key benefits of the select tier, we will be presenting them on a future, but it's some of the key benefits is the deal registration value. So partners with statuses or on tiers from select and above have the possibility to add a deal registration, which will give you a 10% discount over the other partners competing on the same deal. So I think this is a key factor for you to reach this level. If we could move to the next one. The VCF, a really important, yes, a really important thing is that in the VCF, the performance points, it doesn't mean that they're limited to the VCF bundle. But when we call VCF within our company, we mean the VCF business unit. So when we are calculating our performance points, we are calculating them for each and every product that we have within the VCF business unit, which means I don't know, standard bundle, enterprise plus, VVF, VCF, Tanzu, tons of functionalities, and all the add-ons that could be brought on to the VCF bundles. Also, the performance points are based on what we call ABV, or our annual booking value. And it's our annual booking value, so it's the money you bring to us. So some of these points, also the performance and also the capability points, are not that easy to calculate from your perspective. It's only us that can give you the exact number of points and capabilities to be calculated at the moment. So then again, with the leveling up dashboard that we just released yesterday, you would be able to understand exactly how many points you have at the moment. But if you don't have access and if you're still curious, please again reach out to me and Marnix, and we will give you the exact points that you currently have, as we do have made this calculation for everybody, and it has been released internally, I think 4 days ago, and externally should have been released on the Partner Pro portal yesterday or 2 days ago. Next slide. This is a really important slide and a really important change that we have done to the partner ecosystem, which will help you boost your profitability with the VCF bundles. We have introduced the deferred margin on all renewals. So basically, as long as we are not talking about a downgrade or a downsizing from the current for the current contract, we are going to award them with deferred margin on all products except Standard and Enterprise Plus. That means all transactions for where our company is focused at the moment on the VCF, VVF, and all the add-ons will be awarded the deferred margin. Then again, this comes back to what I was saying earlier. We have made it quite easier to move on from one tier to another. So please work with us to reach a higher level tier so you can take advantage of this deferred margin. Next slide. Deal registrations. Coming back to what I was saying earlier, deal registrations are not as they were before. We introduced something that we call the value-based deal registrations. The deal registrations are available only for Select, Premier, and Pinnacle status. Nevertheless, we won't just give deal registration based on first come, first serve anymore. What we want to do and what we are doing at the moment, we are awarding the deal registrations to our best partners who are committed into providing and giving to our customers and pitching to our customers our best solutions. So VVF and VCF, and are pushing for the partners to grow, for our customers to grow their ecosystem, to adapt the functionalities, who are capable of providing services to our customers, to provide enablement to our customers to the current bundle. So we are looking, every time we award the deal registration, we are looking into all these kinds of details. And we are only giving the deal registration to those partners that align with our strategy. And I think this is very important. And another factor, another important factor is that our account directors working on these opportunities will want to schedule a call with the end users, with the customers, with you, to understand customer infrastructure, understand what's going on, understand what is the correct bundle that we can offer to the customer, and so on. And we will see if our efforts align to, so if the account director's efforts align to the partner's efforts, probably he will award you with the deal registration. If we could move on to the next. So again, I've covered this already. For who? Select, Premier, and Pinnacle, and only for commercial segment. When the minimum deal size is 10,000 euros, dollars, sorry, MSRP value, only for our two focus products, VVF and VCF, and they can actually be awarded for a net new customer, net new product, migration to a new offering, capacity on extension on renewal. But it's also important that we are also going to award this for uplift. So when a customer has, for example, a standard bundle, and we want to award them Enterprise Plus, even though it is not written here. So I said, these are, the deal registration is for VVF and VCF. There are some exceptional cases where we award it even for Enterprise Plus if it's a clear increase and we move the customer to the next bundle. So for SKU renewal, even if it's VVF to VVF, a deal registration won't be available. But if we want to move the customer for VVF to VCF, we definitely can give you a deal registration. And the amount is 10% of MSRP, which I think it's a huge discount because we are talking about MSRP value. And we know that the price, for example, for VCF, it's $350 per core. So it's a $35 discount that you'll be getting on for this deal, and above all other resellers that have been requesting the same quote. We could move to the next one. Again, I've already covered this slide, and I think I want to reiterate the importance of having the same strategy as our account directors, to have the same values and to have to align to the Broadcom strategy. We only think about VVF, VCF, and adoption services. This is our main drivers and our main focus at the moment. This is the company's focus. And anytime we will see a commitment from your side, wanting to help us to move our customers to these two bundles, to work together with us, to provide enablement with the customers, to be able to provide services for the customers, we will definitely make sure that you are going to be awarded a deal registration. We can move to the next slide already. So a recap. What are the key benefits that I'm seeing that will help you grow within Broadcom and grow your margins? Is the deal registration, which I covered. We are also providing you with incumbency protection. Incumbency protection, as it currently works within Broadcom, is like this. You're not going to be getting an additional discount for your current renewal, but we are going to make sure that if any other reseller wants a pricing for your contract where you are incumbent, we are going to give them a 10% uplift. So you are going to be 10% protected on this. Also, very, very important rule on incumbency. If the contract is expired, no incumbency protection will be awarded. What this means, we want to work together with you to renew the contracts on time. Another important factor, if the contracts are not renewed on time, the customer is eligible for a 20% reinstatement fees. These are two very important topics to also push our customers to renew the contracts on time, but also to create a steady and a predictable cash flow within our companies. We know when the contract expires. We know when the client needs to give us the money for the renewal. You are protected, you as a reseller, if we work together and we renew it on time. So it's a very important topic. And please keep in mind that we will apply and these rules, if we haven't been applying them already, starting this month, they will be applied on each and every renewal. Another key benefit is the deferred margin and the activity-based claims. Of course, these are benefits for the Premier and Pinnacle ones, but still, these are these are factors or benefits that grow the profitability a lot for our customers. For our resellers. And of course, we have actionable insights and tools like the dashboards and to empower our partners to make more decisions. And we are trying to make our partner program to become, as I said before, more transparent, more predictable, so you are able to plan your growth with us in a seamless way. We can move to the next slide, but I think...
Yes, thank you, Bogdan.
Yes, thank you all for listening to me. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Next, I would like to give you a small overview, a bird's eye view on the quoting process. Because, yeah, as you are probably also having, we also had the experience that it's definitely not always a smooth ride to get from a request to a quote. So that's why I thought it was a good idea to have a little bit of an insight on how the quoting process works. So in a perfect world, you as a reseller request a quote for maybe a new environment, for an upgrade, for a renewal, or whatever. Our inside sales team creates a CPQ request for that towards Broadcom. Broadcom then creates the CPQ and sends that reference numbers to our inside sales team. And our inside sales team will, based on that CPQ, create a quote for the reseller, and you as a reseller will get that quote. Now, it sounds rather easy. It's only a four-step process, but there's definitely some things that could go wrong. Also, the way that we need to do, or how we need to request the CPQ differs from the customer segment where the customer is in. You have, like, for example, the account managers that are working in the team of Bogdan, but you also have like a quoting team in India that creates CPQ quotes for us, and it depends on the customer segment, the deal size, that a different approach needs to be taken before a CPQ is created. Now, unfortunately, as I already said, sometimes things don't go that smoothly and things do go wrong. And where they do go wrong is actually in this step being the request that's being launched from the reseller to us. And in the next step, the CPQ request from our inside sales team at TD to Broadcom. And what are the things that go wrong? Well, typically in the first step, it is missing or wrong information. And in the second step, it's either the account director that has changed or the customer is in a different customer segment. And as Bogdan already mentioned, the need to have like a call with the end customer and to provide the outcome of a script. Missing or wrong information, for every quote, we need the information that's listed now on the slide. So if it's an existing customer, we also need the customer ERP number. So the name is not enough. We need to know, of course, it's a renewal subscription, a renewal migration, an expansion, or a new license. We also need the start date, the term length, the SKU and the quantity. What type of product do you want and how many of them? The end user contact details, your contact details, if there's an incumbency protection or a deal reg or not, and if you're already involved with the Broadcom account director on that particular case, what his or her name is, so we can check with them to see what the current status is. Each time we create or we get a request from you, from a reseller, where this information is missing, we need to start sending mails back and forth between you and the reseller, resulting in, of course, delays. And then I know I had that remark several times, but yeah, you already know who we are and you know the customer because you delivered that licenses there last year. So you should have that information. And yes, you are correct. We do have that information, but that information, how can we be sure that it's still valid? Maybe the end user contact details have changed. Maybe the contact details at the reseller, maybe someone who was in charge for licensing admin at you has been replaced by someone else. So that's why that each and every time that you request a quote, we need those details. So if you can provide them from step one, we are already in a pole position to provide you with the correct quote. And the second thing, the no script, no quote. So I think Bogdan already mentioned it in his presentation. The enterprise account directors at Broadcom have a clear internal guideline. And those include a number of steps. Step one, customer must run the script and the output must be provided to Broadcom. That just to be making sure that what the customer and the reseller is requesting is actually correct. Also preventing mails going back and forth. Oh no, I was wrong. I don't need 150 cores. I need 250 cores, just to be sure that that information is correct. Step two, there needs to be a call with the end customer. So the account director responsible for your end customer needs to have a call with the end customer to see what his needs and requirements are, to see if it's maybe possible to go from a standard to an enterprise plus or from an enterprise plus to a VVF. And step three, optionally, a VCF tech call, specifically for the larger deals and for the deals that might be going in the direction of VCF. This is also something that can be optionally required. I know that today it is not the case in every situation. So there are certain cases where this guideline has not been followed, but I think that Broadcom will be focusing on that one more and more in the very near future to be sure that they get a chance to talk to the end customer and that the information from the script is provided so a correct quote can be made. In the very near future, we're actually pretty close in getting there. It's still the same beginning step. So you as a reseller requests an update or a new quote for a VMware environment. We request the CPU, but we as a distributor also create the CPQ. Next step, we create a quote and we provide the quote to you as a reseller. Now, there are, of course, a number of requirements or disclaimers, and this is only true in specific situations. So we as a distri will only be able to create our own CPQs for standard and enterprise plus bundles, so not for the VVF or the VCF bundles. And there's also limitation on the total amount of cores. So for standard, that it's 200 cores, and for enterprise plus, that is 100 cores. So everything above that will still need to follow the previous flow that I showed you. Bogdan, I think you also wanted to say something about the new portals and where to find them. You're on mute, Bogdan.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I wanted to touch base a little bit on the importance of the dashboards that we have launched on the partner portal. Well, of course, all the dashboards that we have launched are on the Broadcom partner portal under the VMware structure, and it's really important for each and every one of you to take advantage of our partner portal. It has a lot of information, which I know for someone it may be too much, is a complicated portal. It's not so easy to use. For that, I understand it. But then again, there are so many information here, so much information, so many details that can help you grow within Broadcom, that can help you improve your relationship with us, that can help you understand your point system, understand what you can do, and all the guides that I think each and every one of you should know this very, very well, of course, if you intend to grow with Broadcom. So some of the most important dashboards that we are having are the leveling up dashboard, which has just been launched, the enablement dashboard, where you can see all your certifications that you currently have, the deal registration platform that you can where you can add deal registrations, and the very most important dashboard, which I think every one of you must use, it's the renewals dashboard, where you can see exactly which are the contracts you are incumbent for, with all the details of the contract, when it expires, which products are inside it, line by line, and you will be able to schedule, program the renewals, contact your customers together with us, and make sure that they are renewed on time, and with again, with the focus on the possibility of growing them to the VVF and VCF bundles. So you would be able to take advantage of your incumbency protection and your deal registration if it's applicable. We can move to the next slide.
If I may quickly interrupt, Bogdan, we had one question in the Q&A box. Could you provide a link to the mentioned newly released partner program dashboard? So that's what you just presented. So
yes,
the
so
link
this is it. Yeah, this is the link.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, you can also use the QR code. It takes you directly to the page, and it's actually when you go to the partnerportal.broadcom.com.group-partner portal/VMware. It's at the bottom of that page, the screenshot that you're seeing.
What I think it's also important to add here, we have I think it's a 20-step process to get access to the portal. You have to be part of the Okta security program and so on. I do have some documentation with all the steps that you need to take in order to complete your registration. And everyone in the company, in your company, should be able to access this dashboard as long as their email domain is the same as the administrator ones. And for some of the dashboards, it's the administrator of the account who needs to provide access to this dashboard. So for the partner portal, everyone can, as long as they have the correct email domain, everyone in your company can request access. But for the dashboards, it's the administrator of the account that will provide access to the dashboard. All the dashboards are within what we call the partner central dashboard. So we have one unique dashboard with links to every and each one of the So on one unique page with all the links to the dashboards that are available to you, depending also on your partner tier. Of course, the registered partners won't have access to the deal registrations. Select partners won't have access to the Achievers dashboard, which is dedicated only for Premier and Pinnacle, and so on. So the importance of these dashboards is crucial for your growth within Broadcom. The renewals dashboard, it shows you, as you can see in this picture here, it literally shows you exactly all the details needed for your renewal. It gives you the ERP account, the contract number, the previous products. It gives you all the tools that you would need to provide Marnix in order for him to be able to request a quote from us and to streamline this process. So if you don't have access to the renewals dashboard, I think this is your next what's it called, step to do. This is your next and most urgent step that you need to take. Then we have the enablement dashboard, who together with the leveling up dashboard is going to show you how you can reach to the next level, what is your current level, how many certifications you have, and what is needed to reach to the next level. It's, again, very important. Everybody should be aware. I expect all the partners in our ecosystem to be familiarize themselves with all these tools. If we can move to the next one. Solution provider dashboard. So this is the payout dashboard. This is effectively dedicated to our Premier and Pinnacle partners, where the deferred margin is awarded monthly based on the bookings and the eligible bookings that they have done on the previous month. So for example, the bookings completed in the month of June will have a deferred margin payout somewhere, if I'm not mistaken, in the middle of July. We can move to the next slide. This is the points-based leveling dashboard. This has just been released. So 1 day ago, for now, it's still an overview, but it should go live to show you exactly how to move to the next levels by the end of this month. Again, we are introducing all these dashboards and all these tools for you to be able to quickly and easily understand what is your current standings, where you want to move. If you have the budget, the time, and you want to invest into Broadcom, this will help you a lot understand what are your steps to do so. We can move to the next one.
Okay, well, thanks, Bogdan. Before we go to the Q&A, I just wanted to touch upon something that you might have missed, although you should probably were living under a rock. So a couple of days ago, I think 2 days ago, VMware by Broadcom launched VMware Cloud Foundation 9. We're not going into detail on that because it was not in the scope of this webinar. It might be that we will be organizing something pretty soon to discuss on that topic. And as you might have learned, there is no longer a VMware World Europe, but instead there is like a VMware World, not a VMware World, but a VMware Explore on tour. So starting somewhere mid-September throughout the EMEA region, I think there's a session going on in London, in Paris, in Frankfurt, and on some other locations outside EMEA. There will be like a 2-day VMware Explore on Tour event where they will definitely be focusing on VMware Cloud Foundation 9 and a number of other topics. If you haven't seen the news on that, do reach out and we will provide you with the necessary links so you can register if you wanted to join to any of those locations. And then we arrive at the Q&A. I don't know, Ruben, except for the one that you already asked, are there other Q&As in the chat box?
No other questions so far.
No other questions. I had some questions that were given to me in advance, but I think most of them has been touched. Let me see. Well, the first one is about the registered partner level outside of EMEA. What are the plans for this region and Benelux in particular with the registered partner level? But I think you already mentioned that in the beginning of the slide deck, Bogdan.
I did, but I can cover it again just to make sure we don't have a clear indication of what is going to happen. Changes are definitely going to come in the next 3 to 6 months, but this is why we are introducing the so we are lowering the points necessary for the select level, so we can give you the chance to move to the select level, so all of these worries will go away.
I have another one with regards to the certifications. Can a single individual be both a proven professional and a certified expert?
So yes, they can, but more than that, they can also now be proven professional certified expert on both sales and technical. And this is going to go live starting next month with the new point system. Yeah.
Super. Then a question with regards to the verification on of Broadcom on if the requirements have been met. There was like a check somewhere in the summer and then another one in November. Maybe you could,
yes.
rephrase
So with
the timeline again.
With the introduction of the leveling up dashboard, where we give you the chance to understand exactly how many performance and capability points you currently have, where you have to go, and so on. We are launching this right now for us to be able to have an overview in August. So in August is going to be the first progression point where we can either level up or, of course, also downgrade our current channel. But we're also going to give you the chance to comply within, I think it's either 60 or 90 days with the new, basically to reach the correct number of points. So this is very important. As soon as this dashboard is out, please verify where you are, what you need to do to reach that point. And if you don't reach it in August, don't worry, you will still have a chance to comply again. So stay in touch with either me or Marnix, and we will help you get there.
Yeah, with regards to that point-based leveling dashboard, when is it becoming available? But you said it's available since yesterday, so
it's available on the portal, but people can access it, but it will not show yet the amount of points that you have. It's just there like an overview of how it will look like. And by the end of this month, it should be live with all the points and certifications that you have needed, and with all the details. And it should go until the end of this month. But I have this data already. So internally, we have prepared this already. It's just a matter of putting it out there for everybody to see. So if you have questions or if you are curious where you are at the moment, you can contact me and I have those details.
Super. With recently announced launch of VCF 9, how long will VCF 8 and previous versions be supported?
So I've been receiving this question a lot, actually. We don't have a clear date when vSphere 8 will be end of life. There is no indication of it. We only know with certainty that VCF or vSphere 7 will be end of life in October this year. So please make sure that you upgrade everything to either VCF 8 or 9.
Okay. And then I have a last question with regards to the recent news on VeloCloud and Arista that was in the news. Any idea on the timeline or impact or?
I've asked this question internally. I don't have an answer for it yet. but maybe we can reply it in a future date over email to everyone that's interested in it, because I don't have an answer for it yet.
Okay. Well, super, Bogdan. Thanks for your insights. Any other questions, Ruben, that might have popped up during this session? No?
No questions.
Brings us to the end of the presentation, and I think right on time because it's 10:59, so perfectly timed. Thanks everyone for joining this webinar. Thanks Bogdan for your insights and the effort that was put into that. And yeah, if there are any other questions, please reach out to us, and we will provide you with the answers as soon as possible. See you all very soon.
Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Bye-bye.